I haven't been to the van for 4 days because we've had some terribly cold weather. It's been raining, windy, and as you'll probably hear, started up perfectly fine. So I'm hoping that the battery issues are behind me now. I do seriously hope it wasn't just that nut that was a bit loose, because that would make me look like a right dumbass. But anyway, so there's still a few more cables. This one here goes under there and behind the glove box, and I think it goes up to the main fuse board. So to be honest, I might keep this one in because it'll likely have some wiring that I could use for when I put my radio in here. Thinking about getting a Android one, or I may even go to a standard Sprinter one, but they're a bit boring really. But yeah, that might come in handy. I don't even see that. That's speaker wire that goes into the rear, but it was never, like, the rear doesn't have the cutouts for the speakers. So that's weird, that. And I think today I'm going to try and see how much of this control board I can take out. So I'll just run to the back. Now to sort out this control panel here. Thank you for digging. So I've been kind of putting this off for ages because I've been told that this control panel also controls part of the van as well. So the last thing that I wanted to do was start messing around with this and not have the van start up. Like, I could probably manage the, redoing the indicators and reverse light and stuff, but once it comes into the van not starting like territory, that's a bit out my depth. So the current plan is to take each one of these plugs out one by one and see if I can still start the van. It's probably a long way around it, but it kind of makes sense to me. So I put a label on and written in a rather scraggly handwriting where they came from. So M corresponds to M on the diagram here, wherever it is. It's this first one here. So yeah, the plan is to keep taking the plug out, mark where it went, and see if I can start the van. Now hopefully get to a stage where there's nothing plugged into this top bit, or this top bit, and if the van still starts, I see no reason why I couldn't take the entire box out. But I'm only going on what I've been told. So wish me luck, I guess. My main concern about doing it this way is that's going to put a lot of stress on the starter motor. So obviously every time I unplug a plug, I've got to go and see if I can start the van. And with what we got, 8. So with about 20 plugs, that's obviously going to be 20 starts of the engine in a relatively short space of time. So I am a little bit concerned on how much stress that's going to put both on the starter motor and the battery. So I think I'll probably have to unplug a lead, try it, wait 5 minutes, unplug another one. That's the only thing that I can think of doing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so not sure you can see, but I've got 2 full rows cleared. Unfortunately, I did these ones before I started putting labels on, so don't really have don't really know where they go. So whoops. But they've been disconnected since I started, so it doesn't seem to affect the starting of the van. So there's only those 2 on that side. There's 4 left on this one, and then this big white one here. So we shall see. Right, so making a bit more progress. That's the entirety of them, apart from the 2 in the corner and this white one. the last one I unplugged, I've lost it, is N, and these are actually the outputs for the indicators and brake lights and such. But I think that they're the outputs for the indicators and brakes on the light bar, not the van itself. So we shall see. Alright, so as you might be able to hear, the engine's still running, which also means that it still starts. So it would seem that this bunch of wires here don't affect the starting of the van. There's still those two behind there, which apparently is G and F, which if we can find it on here, yeah, I think it's these ones here. So fuses, auxiliary ignition. The only one that does worry me is that one there, ignition security. Now I don't know if I were to unplug that, is that going to stop the engine from starting? But it's a red and pink wire and it's a relay, so yeah, that'll be the next test, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to unplug F, which is this top row of relays for C1 to C4, so I'm going to assume that that won't do anything. But yeah, we will see what happens then. At the risk of saying it all again, we now have all but that white one of the connectors pulled out. G is the one that I was talking about earlier. That one has the ignition security wire. I don't actually know what that does. I'm hoping it doesn't kill the engine, because if I'm honest, I don't know what it's supposed to be supplied with. But yeah, we shall see now. Oh. Right. Okay, so here goes. Dashboard still lights up. Second stage works. Still starts. Obviously there's a park warning and a seatbelt warning because there's a little bit on the driver's seat. To be honest, I don't really know what ignition security did, because the engine started. Yeah, I don't know. This white one here is the last plug. I'm not even going to bother marking it because it's the only plug of its kind up here anyway. So yeah, we'll see what this one does. So yeah, this video is going to be quite repetitive. I apologise for that, but this one that I've just unplugged now was the last plug, as I said earlier on in the video. So dashboard comes on, second stage is okay, and as you probably hear, she starts. So yeah, I don't know what I was told, or if what I was told was true, but as far as I can tell, that panel is now out. Well, not out, that panel is now unplugged, and as you can hear, the van does actually start. Whether or not everything else works, I don't know. But for things like lights, indicators, I'm perfectly happy to rewire those, because as you saw, I've got the diagram, and I did say this at the start of the video, but pretty much my only concern is the van not starting. I can cope with everything else, you know. It's in a fairly secure area, so if central locking stopped working, I could cope with that, because as I said, it is in a secure-ish area. But what I probably couldn't cope with, or what I know I couldn't cope with, is the van not starting. So yeah, we'll go back to the panel and see if there's anything I've missed. As you can see, I've got 32 relays I can reuse. They're all in sockets. An absolute ton of fuses. So yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff I can probably reuse. Maybe even some of these boards in here. You got power coming in, few load of fuses and power going out. So I'm more likely to use them again.